What is physical pharmacy? Physical pharmacy is the branch of pharmaceutical sciences that applies the principles of physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology to understand the physical and chemical properties of the drugs and pharmaceutical dosage forms. It explains why drugs behave the way they do during formulation, manufacturing, storage, and administration. Simple definition of physical pharmacy. It is the study of physical and physico-chemical principles that govern the design, preparation, stability, and performance of the pharmaceutical products. Example, when preparing a suspension syrup, the pharmacist needs to know why particles settle, how can settling be reduced, why should the bottle be shaken before its use. Historical background of physical pharmacy, how it is came into existence, how we are going to use, our pharmaceutical scientists use this science. Okay, so the development of physical pharmacy began with the scientists realized that drug effect or the action of the drug, or you can say the efficacy of the drugs, depends not only on the chemical composition but also on physical properties like particle size, solubility, crystal form, surface area, viscosity, diffusion. So these are some physical factors on which the drug effect also depends. Then the physical pharmacy is the foundation of drug formulation, industrial pharmacy, pharmaceutics, biopharmaceutics, and pharmaceutical technology. Then the scope of physical pharmacy. The scope of physical pharmacy extends throughout the pharmaceutical industry. It helps in drug discovery and development by understanding the solubility property, stability property, polymorphism, partition coefficient. So it helps the researchers to select a suitable drug candidates. Example, a poorly soluble drug may require or can be formulated in the form of nanoparticles, solid dispersions, lipid formulations to improve the bioavailability. Formulation development. Physical pharmacy guides the preparation of tablets, capsules, syrups, suspensions, emulsions, creams, ointments, injectable products, transdermal patches. Example, choosing the correct viscosity ensures easy pouring of the syrups while maintaining the stability. Then drug stability. So it also helps in predicting the drug stability also. Then it also helps in predicting chemical degradation like hydrolysis, oxidation, photolysis, and temperature effects using the principles of chemical kinetics. This determines the shelf life and expiry date of the medicines. Then manufacturing process. So physical pharmacy also helps in manufacturing process like industrial production depends on powder flow, mixing, compression, granulation, milling, drying, and micromeritics plays an important role in these operations. Quality control. Physical pharmacy also assists in evaluation of dissolution, uniformity, particle size, viscosity, surface tension, density to ensure the product quality. So all these are required to assure a good quality product. In drug delivery systems, so modern drug delivery technologies rely heavily on physical pharmacy. Examples, liposomes, microspheres, nanoparticles, controlled release tablets, osmotic pumps, transdermal patches. Storage and packing. So by the physical pharmacy we have the knowledge of humidity, how the humidity affect the drug and temperature affect the drug, and even though the character like polymorphism, it also helps in selecting the suitable packing material, that is suitable container, other packing materials, and the storage conditions, how much temperature is required to store the particular product. Then it also helps in clinical pharmacy applications, like physical property affect the absorption of the drug in the body, distribution of the drug in the body, and bioavailability property of the formulation, and the therapeutic efficacy of the formulations also. So smaller the particle size, increase the dissolution rate, often improves the absorption also. So importance of physical pharmacy. So the physical pharmacy acts a bridge between the basic science and the pharmaceutical technology. It improves the drug stability by understanding the degradation mechanism. It increases the product shelf life. Then it also enhances the knowledge of physical pharmacy, also helps full in increasing the bioavailability of the formulation. Drugs which are having poor solubility can be modified or altered to improve the absorption. For example, the technology like size reduction, that is micronization of the drugs. For example, glycofulvine increases the dissolution rate of this drug. It also ensures the uniform drug delivery. Proper rheological properties ensure uniform dosing in suspension and emulsion. Then it also prevents the formulation failure, because we can study we can have the knowledge of incompatibilities and instability which prevent the manufacturing defects. So physical pharmacy also helpful in optimizing the formulation or manufacturing process. So improved powder flow leads to efficient tablet production, because the powder particles, if they are properly moving, then only we can produce a stable tablet. Otherwise we can't produce the stable tablet, because the flow property of the powder particles of the drug is very much important. It also helps in reducing the cost. So stable formulations minimize the wastage and production losses. It supports the regulatory compliance. Data generated from the physical pharmacy studies are required for stability testing, product registration, and regulatory approval. Then the applications of the physical pharmacy in the pharmaceutical practice. Like it is the knowledge of physical pharmacy is used in tablet manufacturing, like study of powder flow, compressibility, particle size, suspension formulation, sedimentation, flocculation, then viscosity. It also helps in preparation of emulsions, like studying surface tension, emulsifying agent, HLB values, and controlled release systems. It also helps in diffusion studies like osmotic pressure, polymer science, stability testing, Arrhenius equation, and chemical kinetics.